And welcome back. It is the 27th of August, high fibre day. I'm going to go straight to the first question, which is like a Venn diagram question. Now, before I do anything else, think about Venn diagrams with two circles in. If there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 areas to consider. So if you think about it that way, it's often much easier than it looks. Case in point, it tells me that those 4 things must add up to 120. What else did it tell me? 60% of people like tea and coffee. So I'm going to label that tea and I'm going to label that coffee. 60 people like tea and coffee. That's 60 in the middle. 75% of the people who liked tea also liked coffee. And that's a clever way of doing it. So that 60 represents 75%, which means 100% is 80, which means therefore 20 goes here. 9 people did not like either tea or coffee. And you remember what I said, this is just going to be 120 minus 60 minus 20 minus 9, which is going to give me 31. And I'll just check out my calculator quickly. You might have heard me do that. Complete the Venn diagram. I've completed it. Question done. Next question. On the grid, draw. Now, again, first video of mine you've seen, you won't have heard me say this. This is a good example of you having to learn to use your calculator carefully. So if you don't know already, find the table function on your calculator. So even the most basic GCSE calculator should have one of these. And it is well worth getting if you don't, because it'll save you minutes. And you're going to put in the equation 2x squared plus 8 plus x minus 8 between minus 2 and 2, step 1, and it will tell you minus 2, minus 7, minus 8, minus 5, 2. Now, in a way, I'm glad I did that, because normally I would say, look for some symmetry about these numbers, but there aren't any. It is going down and up, but there's no symmetry, which means my turning point is going to be a fractional number. Either way, draw means plot accurately. So minus 2 goes against minus 2, 2 goes against 2, which is here, and then I need to carefully plot this. So my plot's going to look something like this. Again, getting a nice smooth parabola which fits the curve that I've done. Okay, next question. Using your graph, solve. Right, now I've already plotted that. So actually all I want to do is find out where it equals minus 4, which is going to be in 2 places. Now, as I often say, not clearly on your paper, just somewhere else. Work out what the actual answer is supposed to be, and then just make sure your graphs roughly give you those answers. So I'm actually going to use my calculator and cheat. So if I use my calculator, I can tell you that the answers are supposed to be minus 1.7 and 1.2. So I can get away with that, can't I? So 1.2 and minus 1.7, yeah, pretty much, that will do. So therefore I'm going to say 1.2 and minus 1.7. The way this will be marked in the exam is you'll be given a little bit of tolerance, like a 0.1, but not much at all. So it relies on you drawing a good, smooth graph. Don't rush it, because that's the point of the question. Next question. Oh wow, a lot to this one. Shown is a container made of a pyramid and a cuboid. Okay, 90 centimeters cube of water is poured into the container. Okay, how high above the base of the container will the water reach? This is really hard. If you're one of these people that, and nothing wrong with this, if you're one of these people that watches along my videos, fine. I would say pause the video and have a go at this one. This is a difficult question, or at least the way that I'm going to have to do it, I think this is quite difficult. Give it a go, come back to me in a second. Right, so hopefully you've tried it. This is how I'm going to do this question. I haven't done this question before, so this will be interesting. So let's see how this goes. So 90 centimeters of water is poured. So the first thing I'm going to do is work out the volume of the cuboid, in other words, this bit here, and that's going to be, so that's just 5 times 4 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20, times 4 is 80, so that's 80 centimeters cubed. The reason I need that is because I've got 90 centimeters cubed of water, so that means I've got 10 centimeters cubed of water in the pyramid bit. So far, so good. The next thing I need to do is work out how far up that this goes. So I've got my pyramid here, so there's my pyramid, and I've got my water which goes up like this. Again, I think this is a really difficult question. I genuinely think it's quite hard. And I know the height of my pyramid is, well, it's 6 minus 4, so it's going to be 2 centimeters high. So my pyramid is 2 centimeters. So the volume of the pyramid is going to be 1/3 times the base, which is 5 times 4, times by the height of the pyramid, which is 2. 5 times 4 is 20, times 2 is 40, and it's 40 over 3. Then I'm going to take away, I'm going to work out how high the pyramid needs to be that I need to take away that doesn't have any water in it. So in other words, I know the pyramid's 40 over 3. I've got 10 centimeters cubed of water on the bottom. So let's do this over here. It's very hard to describe it. So 40 over 3 minus 10 is 10 over 3. So I I know I need to take away a pyramid, in other words this white pyramid here, that is 10 over 3 centimeters cubed. So now let's work out, in fact actually I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do this slightly differently. So the pyramid, I'm going to do it in green because it's really hard to describe what I'm thinking here. So this is a pyramid that I need to be 10 over 3 centimeters cubed. I have two pyramids. I have the green one, let's call it green. So I have the green one, which is 10 over 3, and I have the actual one, which is 40 over 3. These are volumes, which means a volume scale factor to get from here to here is going to be to multiply by 1. Actually, let's do it the way around because that makes it's not a fraction. So the volume scale factor to get to here from here to here is to multiply by 4. That is my volume scale factor, which means the length scale factor is going to be the cube root of that, which is the cube root of 4. That's not a nice number. All right, so here we go. We are getting somewhere. So therefore, the height of the green pyramid is going to be, well, it's the height of the whole thing, the big pyramid, 2, divided by the scale factor, which is 3 over root 4. And that's approximately, so calculator out, 1.2599. Okay, so far. Now, that's the height that I'm taking away. So the height that's left behind, which is the height of the water, is 2 minus that number there. It's still on my calculator, so I'm going to do 2 minus answer, which tells me that 0.74007889, which I'm going to say is approximately 0.74 centimeters to 2 sig fig. But am I done? Always when you've done a difficult question, go back and read the question, right? So what do we have? So shown is a container made of a pyramid, blah, 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 blah. How high above the base of the container will the water reach? So actually, just to be really horrible, this question's not done yet. So the height above the base is going to be 4, as in this 4 here, plus the number I've just worked out, which is 0.74, which is 4.74 centimeters to 2 sig fig. That is a difficult question. It's not too difficult, to be clear. It's not too hard, and there are different ways of doing it. You can work out frustums and things, but that's a difficult question. If you got that, well done. Wow. Let's all take a bit of a breather after that. Let me know how it went for you. If you got the last one, do let me know. And again, congratulations. Either way, like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.